Hey, welcome to Fun and Entertainment with T. I'm your host, Tanya. Tonight we have made it back to Saturday, guys. Listen, I hope everybody's enjoyed their weekend so far. We are already getting to the last week, guys, of August. Let's give it up. Yes, we have made it. Almost there, y'all. And look, this is Labor Day weekend. I know a lot of people are out shopping, doing some of everything, going on vacation. And you know what? I am excited myself because I am off these next 3 days. I am going to be enjoying, and also we'll be heading to the beach in a couple weeks as well. Listen, guys, we are already only about 3.5 months until the holiday season begins, okay? And we're almost about a month away from the first day of fall. So look, this is the last weekend as far as getting things together for the summer months. Again, all back to school is coming back. And you know what? We only have just a few more months, like I said, before everything start getting cool again for the fall. All right. But y'all, we got a lot to talk about tonight. We are going to talk about dating, of course, but we're going to talk about singlehood. We're going to talk about what it's like to be single in this time. Is it better to be married or is it better to be single? We're going to listen in on a lot of outtakes from different people, different women, talking about how they feel about the dating arena and what it's like being single in this economy and in just this world in general. You know, some people say, hey, they rather be single any day of the week, okay? They do not want to be tied down. They don't want to be with anybody in general. And you know what? That's understandable if you really think about it, because in this day, things are totally different. You know, things are different to the point where, you know, used to, people took the time to get to know each other. Now, it's not like that, okay? We're going to listen in on this first segment. We actually got two segments we're going to listen in on. The first segment is about people choosing to be single by choice. Oh, yes, honey. They have the option to date, they have the option to be with someone or even to be married. But these women decide, you know what? I just want to be left alone. I don't even want to be bothered. All right. Don't even come my direction, okay? If you ain't spitting no game, all right? But anyway, let's get on with the first topic. I'm going to break this video down once it's over, and I'm going to let you know how I feel about being single by choice. All right, let's get going, and then we'll break it down once it's complete.
Book The Love Jones Cohort, Single and Living Alone in the Black Middle Class. It's funny you say that because I never forget, I think it was my senior year of high school, and my father encouraged me to stay loyal to my career because it'll be more loyal to you than any man. But my mom was on the other side and said, but a career can't keep you warm at night.
Like, yes, a career cannot keep you warm at night, but you got a whole bunch of like heated blankets and stuff.
I made a video that went viral recently about how women are prioritizing peace over low-grade, low-effort relationships with men. And the number one comment that I got from men was, well, fine, if you can live without us, we're just not going to protect you anymore. So first of all, who exactly are you protecting us from? Is it Sarah that we're afraid is going to break into our home and assault us? Or is it men? Is it men that you're protecting us from? Second, when women say that we'd rather have peace and safety, we're not talking about physical safety. We're talking about emotional safety. The reason there is an epidemic of lonely, depressed men is because women would rather be alone than in an emotionally unsafe relationship. I feel that we're in emotional danger when we can't be vulnerable and express how we feel. We're being constantly criticized or put down or ignored. Or all the men run to the comments and say, well, we want to be valued too. Yes, you deserve that. But why are 72% of divorces initiated by women? And why statistically are women thriving in singledom and men are not? It is because women en masse are willing to put in the work, be self-reflective, and do what it takes to show up, and men simply are not.
I am learning that being a woman in her 30s who is single by choice is a radical concept to some people. So Valentine's Day was a couple days ago. It's my favorite holiday, has been for years. I planned this super cute solo getaway to Santa Barbara, like an hour and a half from where I live. I booked a spa day. I booked dinner for myself, like the whole thing. And I was so excited. And while I was there, after my spa day, I'm having a glass of wine. I'm playing Pac-Man while someone makes me a snack. I get a text from the guy that I've been on a few dates with, and he says, Happy Valentine's Day, and asks what I'm up to. So I sent him some pictures of the day so far, and I'm like, oh, I'm up in Santa Barbara. I'm having a great time. And he texts back like, what? Did you plan this? I would have hung out with you. You didn't have to follow like a quarter-life crisis at PCH and spend a bunch of money. I was so confused because I was like, what about this day looks like a crisis to you? I'm literally having the time of my life. I'm so happy. And then putting the pieces together, what I realized he thought was that I woke up on Valentine's Day, was sad that I was single, and drove an hour and a half away and spent a bunch of money to try to like make myself feel better. And the fact that that was his assumption of my day instead of this thing that I was doing for myself that I had planned weeks ago that I was excited about, I was just like, I was blown away. I mean, patriarchy.
Let me just respond to this on behalf of all the 40-plus-year-old single women who are single by choice, not because they can't find a man. We are not leftovers. We have made a beautiful life for ourselves. A lot of us are very independent, successful, able to completely financially sustain not only ourselves, but our beautiful families. The pool of men who are secure enough in their own identity that they are not threatened by women like that is about this big. So when we are single, it's because we have been dealing with men who are so insecure that they are threatened and they try to knock us down to make themselves feel better, and we don't have time for that. We have such a beautiful life full of incredible things that we have worked our ass off to enjoy. We have probably dealt with a lot of man-childs who can't take a strong woman who doesn't need them, but just wants to be with them. Men have a tendency to want to fill the provider role. And when a woman is financially independent, emotionally able to be okay and feels whole without a man, they don't know what to do. But I'm going to tell you what to do. Be their best friend, okay? Make them laugh, comfort them, support them as they're pursuing your dreams, and I guarantee you, she will do the same in return. So to all the men out there wondering what's wrong with her, why is she still single when they see a 40-plus-year-old woman, understand that she is blissfully happy, so thrilled in her life, that she doesn't want to have to deal with your insecurities because you're not.
Y'all remember Darius Jackson, the content creator who got exposed for cheating on his wife like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago? I don't remember. He made a video which I unfortunately found myself agreeing with. So instead of stitching it and giving him any more attention because he truly irks me, I'm going to just have to make a video about it myself. In the video, he was saying that a lot of times when a woman is single for a long time, men or sometimes even other women will look at her like there's something wrong with her, when a lot of times that woman is just very smart. And he's 100% right. The longer that you go without a man, the clearer you start seeing things. And the clearer you can see, baby, the worse it is. But no, seriously, when you stop operating from a place of, oh, I need a relationship, I need a man, and you start really looking at these men for who they are and what they have to offer and what they can really bring to your life, the quicker you will start to realize that a lot of them are just not worth all of what we thought that they were. This is not me hating on men. This is not that. This is me defending single women. That's it. The longer that you go without a man, the less stuff that you start to tolerate and the better you are at detecting when a man is really not worth your time. When your desire for partnership stops overriding your desire for genuine respect and genuine love, then you will start to see things so differently. And it is going to change you. You're going to make decisions that you probably would not have made before. And you're going to be a lot less willing to accept and settle for just anything. And the longer that you go being alone, at least in my experience, the more you enjoy being alone. And then that means when a man does come along, he's going to have to actually do something. You're going to have to make a real difference in my life, and you're going to have to make it very clear, because I am no longer just looking to be booed up just for the sake of being booed up.
Let me chime in on that. And that's so important. Oh my God, we had some good points with all of these ladies talking about being single by choice. And see, look, there's a misconception that when a woman is by themselves, or they've been, alone or single for a long time, that she has to be unhappy, or she has to have a void in her life, or, there's something must be wrong. No, honey, this is by choice. The key word is choice. A lot of us women, we choose to be single for a lot of reasons. A lot of the reasons that they were naming. First of all, you just don't have time for a lot of BS, okay? You don't have time for, people that don't have their stuff together, especially men, because look, why get involved with a man if you feel like, number one, you're on two different pages in life, okay? For me, especially me, I'm in my mid-40s, okay? I'm doing pretty good for myself by myself, okay? So the man that's coming into my life has to add to that, okay? It can't be a one-sided thing. And so what you're finding now is a lot of men don't have their stuff together. And even if they don't have it all together, they should have some type of drive that you're saying, okay, they got some type of plan in their life where they're going to try to be successful later down the road. They're working towards becoming more and more and more better every year. But look, I'm going to be honest with you. I just don't have time for games. I don't have time for games. I don't have time for, the back and forth and, baby mama drama and you just getting out of the relationship and you just had a baby and now don't have time for any of that. It's we both have it together or we don't have nothing together. You know what I'm saying? This right here is so important. And I'm so glad that some of the women are speaking out about this, because it's always been a societal thing. Like, you have to have a man to feel important or to feel validated. That's one thing about me. I don't have to have validation like that. Thank God that you have to have that self-confidence within yourself, because if you don't, you're going to always want to feel like you got to be with somebody. And listen, I know a lot of women like that. I know women that they just got to be in a relationship no matter what. That man could be beating them. That man could be mistreating them, could be cheating all over them. And guess what? Because just for the sake of them saying they have a man, just to be saying that they're booed up with someone, that's all they care about, which I feel like is ridiculous, okay? Instead of being with somebody that's good for you, they would rather settle. Or instead of being single, they would rather settle just to say that they got someone, and I think that's just terrible. But anyway, let's keep going and we're going to dive deeper into this subject.
No, sir, you're going to have to come over here with something tangible, something real, and something genuine. Otherwise, I can stay by myself. And the clearer you can see, baby, the worse.
She talks here about how we need to stop this stigma of single women, because single women actually are single by choice. And they're single because they've done the requisite work to realize what they're worthy of. And they have now replaced that with the need to be chosen. I have been going through this the last year, and it is absolutely a mind F when you realize how much you have put up with mistreatment and breadcrumbs because you need to be chosen. And it is a thing that is replete in our culture, especially for women. We are taught from a young age via Disney movies that to be chosen is the end game. And especially in a religious patriarchal structure that I grew up in, I was taught as a little girl that to be chosen by a man was the ultimate goal. And once I was no longer chosen by a man because I was choosing to be a hermit, I was being very choosy with the types of men that I allowed into my sphere, I had to reckon with myself. I had to reckon with my value, with my self-worth. it has probably been the hardest shadow work I have ever done. Because when people talk about decentering men, that does not mean that we hate men, and that does not mean that we want to be single forever or that we never want to be in a relationship again. It simply means that self-love is always honoring ourselves and never abandoning ourselves. And too often, women, myself included, some of my girlfriends, they are self-abandoning to be chosen. They are putting up with breadcrumbing and toxic behavior from men to be chosen.
Let me just stop right there. This is why I said what I said before, as far as women feeling the need to just be in a relationship just for the sake of saying I have someone, but they're willing to put up with anything, and that's really, really sad. That's someone that has very, very low self-esteem. Okay, you should never have to devalue yourself. In fact, if you have to devalue yourself, you already know that that's not the man that's supposed to be with you, okay, in the first place. And this is also very important what she was saying as far as self-worth, knowing your worth, knowing your value, okay, placing the value where it's supposed to be, okay? Yes, I would love to be in a relationship and I would love to be married. And guess what? There's a lot of women that have been married and still are married, but they're not happy, So we got to look at a lot of factors, okay? A lot of things of, because look at it like this. In America, the divorce rate is through the roof right now. It is absolutely through the roof. It's through the roof because, number one, in my opinion, I think that, people just don't really try to get to know each other in those beginning stages before they get married, or they don't ask the right questions. Some people marry for the wrong reasons. Some people get in relationships for the wrong reasons. And over time, guess what? It tells on itself. There's a lot of people who are together that can't stand each other. They can't. They can't. And I know a lot of people that are together and they're just there just because, and you can kind of see it even when they come in. You can see it when they're together. They try to put on a good front. They try to mask it up like, hey, this is like the so-called power couple, like they got it all together, but behind closed doors, they are miserable, okay? And that's what we got to take a look at. Not everybody, okay? I'm not saying every couple. There's a lot of couples that are happily married, but you best believe there's a good percentage of people that are in marriages or even just in boyfriend-girlfriend relationships that they're together, but they are not happy, okay? And for me, in this point in my life, I'd rather be by myself and happy than to be with someone that, just to say that I'm with someone and not happy, okay? And to tolerate mistreatment, which that would never happen anyway, but I'm just saying, if it was to be that, no, absolutely not, okay? You should never have to devalue yourself to be with someone who does not love you. All right, so let's move on to the next, guys. We're going to talk about older women who has been there and done that, okay? They have made a decision that, you know what, look, it's for the birds, okay? You can have all of that. You can just have whatever you want, honey. I don't want him. I'm through with it. I'm not cooking. I'm not cleaning. I'm not doing any of it, okay? I'm done. And that's just how that goes, okay? So we're going to listen in on Sanfei Reacts. She's one of my favorite channels on YouTube as far as relationships. Nice, good lady, a lot of wisdom, a lot of people, listen to her. She's got a lot of followers as well. And let's listen in on some older women that have been there, done that, has been married, have kids and all that, and they love their freedom today, okay? Let's just listen in, and I'm going to let you know how I feel about all of this as well.
You
Today I have two women, not one, but two elderly women. They look good for their age, and they can get a man if they want to. But they have decided to live out the rest of their lives without a man, without companionship. They don't want to be married. They don't want to be bothered. They want to be able to do whatever the heck they want to without asking for permission.
The upcoming season of Love Island USA. What do you see?
Let's take a look.
Oh, and I can understand because I feel that way. I no longer want a man. As a matter of fact, I don't even want to date. And you ask, why, Sanfei? Love is so good. Love makes you live longer. That's a lie. Because love can stress you out. It can stress you out until you just got to just throw your hands up and say, I just can't take it no more.
Now, let me say something, and I know she's just getting started, but these are women that's been there, done that, okay? She's saying, look, it's not what it's cracked up to be, okay? I'm just letting you know right off the bat, this is not what you think. If you're with the right one, good, okay? You can have a great relationship, and you can have a great marriage as well if you're with the right one. But finding that right one is hard, guys. It is. It's not like it used to be. But anyway, let's keep going, and then we'll dissect this after it's complete.
I can't. Love is good for some people, not all people. I don't knock love. I don't knock marriage. I don't knock it, Joe. People are free to do what they want to do, but I see why love disappear as you get older. And some of y'all don't even know. Some people just really together for convenience. They don't love each other like that anymore. When they first got married, they don't love each other like that. Now you may have a few now, but the majority of them are not stone in love. So in love that I'll do anything this person wants. You can tell. You can see the signs. Look how some of them cuss each other out. Look how they stop opening doors for women, the men. Look how they treat their wife. Look how they ignore them. They rather be with their friends than to be with their wife. You can see it, okay? But they're still together. Still together. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's the type of life you want, but I want peace. Peace in my life. Now, I know you can't always have peace because sometimes your children or your friends or somebody, a relative or somebody, gonna get on your last damn nerve. I already know that, okay? But peace when I'm in my house by myself. Peace. Even though I live with my daughter, I still have peace. They don't bother me. They knock on the door when they want something. I open the door and just say, come in, and hey, and that's it. But I have peace of mind. I'd rather have that. I'd rather go on field trips. Not field trips, but vacations and stuff with friends and relatives and sisters and stuff like that and cousins. I'd rather do that than to go on vacation with a man. I know I know that's kind of harsh, y'all. That's just me. But it don't make it wrong because that's what I like, okay? I just want peace before I die. Peace in my life. Listen to this lady right here. I'm trying to make the rest, she said, the rest of my life the best of my life. The best ever.
Why do people seem to think that you must be lonely because you don't have a man? Ooh. Y'all, let me tell y'all. At this point in my life, I'm 65 years old. I've been with a man since I was about 18 years old. Always had a man. And now that I don't have one, Lord Jesus, I thank you. I thank you, Lord. I thank you. Honey, at this point in my life, I'm 65 years old. I'm not finna take care of no man. When you get sick, I'm not finna take care of. See, I'm taking care of my health. I'm in good health. And I ain't got time to waste my good health on nobody that's sick trying to take care of them. I'm trying to enjoy the rest of my life. I'm trying to make the best of my life, best of my life. I ain't got time. And I can understand why women my age think they gotta have a man. Look, I ain't finna cook for you. I ain't finna clean up behind you. And I'm definitely not finna have no sex with you at this point in my life. No. You go find somebody else to do that because this one right here, I ain't doing it. And top it off, number one, you know, if I meet you, you just say, for instance, you don't know me, and you know that you meet me and I'm single. If you don't come off top talking about how you can provide and help me, you can keep it on moving. Keep it on moving. I ain't about that because, honey, my body is precious. You ain't finna lay down with me just because you want to. No. I'm not finna lay down with you. Honey, if you ain't coming off the money at this point in my life, keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. I ain't lonely, but damn.
Dang. They tell her like it is, though. They say, look, honey, you can just keep it moving, honey. I ain't cooking, I ain't cleaning, I ain't taking care of you. Okay, I know you coughing up one lung, I ain't doing it. But anyway, let's keep going.
If you ain't coming off the money, keep on trucking. Keep on trucking, baby. You gotta keep on trucking. Y'all remember that song? Keep on trucking, baby. Keep on trucking. Cause she ain't finna have no sex. She ain't finna be cooking. She ain't finna be cleaning. I'm just not gonna do it. Okay? If you ain't got no money, keep on trucking, baby. Keep on trucking. She don't want you. Been there, done that. Basically, that's what you're trying to say. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want the responsibility. You get old, I gotta take care of you. I don't want that responsibility of taking care of you when you're old. Even though when I married you, I said in sickness and in health. But I don't want to take care of you. I don't want to wash your dirty drawers anymore. I don't want to have to wipe your ass. I don't want to have to do it. Even though somebody might have to do her like that. But she don't want to do it for nobody. Okay.
Grammarly doesn't just improve the style of your writing, it also improves your substance. We use
I don't know if I'm that cold yet. I don't know. Whew. But I love my peace, though. I love my peace. Right here, people down in the comments section say, I'm so glad somebody's thinking like me because I ain't gonna cook no more for nobody. I'm not cleaning up for you. I'm not taking no more orders. I love myself. Now, that's the way old women get y'all. Do you hear me, man? Do you hear me? They ain't taking it no more from you. Especially if you abuse it. You're going to get old and decrepit. Then she just might abuse you. Even though I wouldn't do that. Like I said, I don't do eye for an eye. God would take care of that person in the long run. You ain't got nothing. I mean, nothing. Somebody also said 48 and happily separated for 2 years. I'm celibate and stress-free. I sleep like I'm under anesthesia at night. Be safe, ladies. I can get up in the morning whenever I want to. I can sleep to 10, 12, 1, 2 o'clock if I want to. I ain't got to worry about nobody pushing on me saying, hey, go get me something to eat. Do this, do that. Girl, this house ain't clean. Come on now. Come on, get up, do something. Peace, she got peace. If he ain't on a $100,000 bill, I don't want him. These women something else, y'all. They something else. Let me see. Hold on a second. I still have another video, so don't leave me yet. This person said, I'm 66 and I ain't with no man either, and I love it. I do what I want when I do what I do what I want when I want and how I want. That's a lot of wants. Yes, ma'am, thank you, God. I feel you, girl. Been there, done that. Love my independence. I don't cook. I'm not going to take care of a man. I hear you. At this point, it's all about me. Me. Now, is that selfish, y'all? Put it on down there. Is that selfish because you don't want to be with a man, because you don't want to take care of a man, because you want your peace and you want your joy? I remember my grandmother, well, it's my ex-husband's grandmother. Her husband died. She didn't shed not one tear. Not one tear. And I said, Grandma, you okay? You okay, sweetie? We were sitting out on the porch. I remember it was in Detroit, Michigan. You okay, Grandma? Girl, I'm happy. She said, I'm happy as hell. She said, I'm glad he gone. I said, Grandma. She said, I'm glad he's gone. The hell that man put me through? I said, but you stayed married to him, Grandma. It don't matter. You know, we stayed together with the man, you know. I didn't have no skills. I didn't have nothing. I couldn't work. I got to the point where I couldn't work, so I didn't have no choice but to stay with him. But she said, I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad he's dead. Grandma. That's where a lot of them feel, y'all. All right.
I'm sorry, I wanted to just interject. The reason why back then a lot of women stayed is because they didn't really have a choice in the matter back in the day. You know, a lot of times, especially the older generation, like my mom's age and even older, you know, they just kind of took it. You know, they just kind of stayed even when they weren't happy. And men to women too, not just women to men, but men to women too. A lot of time they stayed till death, you know, and you know, now it's a different day. People just don't. One thing, if they're not happy, it's over. You know, but back then they just kind of stood by them and stood by them and stood by them. But it's just totally different now, you know. So, but anyway, guys, I just wanted to kind of touch on this subject about being happily single and being single by choice. Okay, I wanted you to hear how women are feeling, and guess what? I kind of understand where they're coming from because, you know, again, wouldn't you rather have peace? I mean, if you can find your true love, then fine, you know, and trust me, that's very possible. I'm not saying it's not possible, but what I'm saying is until that happens, enjoy your singlehood, enjoy your freedom, enjoy just loving you and valuing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when you love yourself, you can love others. Okay? So, but anyway, I will be back, guys, on Monday. We're going to get back into the political arena. And listen, I had to apologize for Thursday's show because we had a unexpected emergency, so I wasn't able to film on this past Thursday. But I will be back on this coming Monday at 8 p.m., and we're going to get back into the politic game. Also, if y'all can check me out on my shorts, I am posting all the sports scores and the NFL highlights, which is going to be on my shorts feed as well. That's going to be on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. All right, guys. So anyway, y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend, Labor Day weekend, and I will see y'all on Labor Day, which is Monday at 8 p.m. All right, everybody have a good night, and I'll see you again Monday at 8. Take care. Bye-bye.